Everyone smile. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the very first episode of The Waiting Room. And without further ado, the doctor will see you now. Here's your host, my dentist, and yours, the role model, the face of AEW Women's Division, the incomparable Dr. Britt Baker!
Welcome to Talk AEW, the AEW podcast from Goomstop.com and TiltMagazine.net. My name is Ian Goodwillie. We are here, as always, every week with the mighty, magnificent quadruple M, Mariko McDonald.
Hello.
And, of course, the editor-in-chief of both Goombastomp and Tilt Magazine, ravishing Ricky D.
What's up, Ian? I'm not going to lie. I had a little bit too much of the bubbly.
Well, you're still talking, so that's good enough for me. I approve of your life choices, and I'm behind you 100%, my friend. Now, we have a few different things we want to talk about tonight. We want to talk about Jericho and the Inner Circle's trip to Vegas. We want to talk about the epic match between Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. But we're going to get things started tonight with a quick conversation about tag team wrestling AEW and what three tag teams, if there was a draft going on between all the wrestling companies and AEW could protect three tag teams, what tag teams would they be? Mariko, you want to start us off?
Sure. Being that I'm just started thinking about it right now.
Perfect timing.
But I mean, okay. I mean, there are some obvious choices here. Obviously, Young Bucks, like it's their company. They need to be there. So, I mean, that's an easy one. I would say Best Friends definitely need to stay there. I like what they bring to the company. They bring something unique. And they're just really over with the fans. They know how to get the crowd going. And for number 3, I'm going to say Private Party for pure athleticism. They started with AEW, and I think, it's obvious that they're going to be one of the big teams carrying them into the future.
All smart picks, yeah.
You know what the problem is? We can only keep 3, Mariko, so I'm going to have to knock someone off your list.
What?
That's the way this game works, Mariko. You name 3, I knock someone off, and then Ian can keep the 3 remaining or knocks a tag team off the list.
Okay. I think I see what we're doing.
Okay, so here's the thing. I agree. Private Party, awesome. Those dudes rock. But the thing is, I'm actually going to knock out the Young Bucks because I know they're considered the greatest tag team in the world.
What?
But I'm going to replace them with Top Flight, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Top Flight is a brand new team that AEW discovered. The Young Bucks have been all over the world. They've wrestled in different promotions. So I wouldn't actually be too upset if the Young Bucks, say, actually one day maybe went to WWE. But it would be nice if AEW actually founded a team, like a superstar team like Top Flight, and Top Flight was sort of like what Sting was to WCW, where Sting never left. Of course, eventually he did, but that's because WWE bought over WCW, but that's besides the point. The point is, Top Flight stays with the promotion.
But why wouldn't the Young Bucks be those people? Anyways, but
well, no, it could be anything. It could be that the Young Bucks just split up. Like somebody gets injured. Like I'm just saying, what we're doing here is basically we are somehow controlling destiny, and we are like gods, and we have the power that the wrestling gods have, right? And so we could just for sure 100% say Top Flight is 100% protected. Where it's not to say that the Young Bucks will leave or split up or someone will get injured. It's just to say that we're not going to 100% protect these dudes because I would prefer to protect Top Flight.
Okay, but you're okay with having Top Flight and Private Party. You don't feel like they're maybe a little similar in some ways.
No, we can't touch Private Party. We can't unless Ian gets rid of them. But no, I can't turn my back on them. I would actually like my second pick would be Best Friends. I would actually replace Best Friends with Santana Ortiz, but I can only replace one team, so I'm picking Top Flight. It's a tough choice, man. This is the thing. It's a tough choice. Like, it's like you can only take 3 video games with you for the rest of your life. Which 3 video games would you choose? Type thing. It's hard. Ian, like, help us out. Save us.
So you're going to pick the team that you've seen wrestle like 3 times over the current tag belt holders.
Exactly. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy.
Okay.
I just see so much potential in them. I've seen them wrestle 3 times. We watched a video package. I just have complete faith in this team. I like them. And it's the idea of nobody has really ever heard of these dudes except for maybe a few people who saw a few like indie like wrestling shows in the middle of, I don't know, nowhere in the United States of America. Like, it just seems like a full AEW full discovery. Whereas like, people already knew who the Young Bucks were going into AEW.
Okay.
I see where you're coming from on it. Also, I think with the Young Bucks, I mean, with them being EVPs of the company, I don't see them going too far anyway. Like, I mean, can they even like even in this whole situation, in this theoretical draft between companies, because they're the EVPs, could they even get drafted? I don't know.
Well, and also you have to remember that I believe they are 35 and 31 years old. I'm not entirely sure how old Matt and Nick are, but they're in their 30s. Top Flight, they are 18 and 19.
Yeah, so they've got a few more years before.
Those are some young guys.
Yeah, like they're not even close to their primes. So why now?
Because no, but it's not about why now. It's about right now we are protecting our draft picks, right? So I look at it like I'm the general manager of an NBA basketball team. And so I can pick Kevin Durant, who already has like a serious injury or two, who was off all last year because of his injury, who's like 35 years old and really only has 5 more years left maybe to play basketball if we're lucky. Or I can go with like 2 draft picks, like 2 young 18, 19-year-old basketball players who might give me 20 years of success and NBA championships like Kobe Bryant did for the Lakers.
Okay, I think I understand the game now.
That's the way my brain works. I don't know.
Well, to be completely honest, I thought we were just going to each pick 3 that we wanted to protect.
Oh, you want to do it like that? We could do it.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going on.
Okay, well, if that's the case, so Mariko keeps her 3, but does that mean I keep my 3, or I can overlap with her picks?
I don't. It's just your 3 picks. You do what you got to do. If they overlap with hers, perfectly fine. If not, that's fine too. I'm just curious what your 3 picks would be. Like, who are your top 3 that you would keep in AEW?
Okay, for sure, Private Party. I think they have the most charisma. I think they have the most potential to be great. The greatest tag team in AEW in the future. Top Flight for sure. I know they're very similar, but I think it'll be great to see those 2 tag teams have an incredible feud in the future that carries on for like 10 years for all we know. And for my third and final pick, it's tough because I really like the Lucha Brothers, but I really love Santana and Ortiz as well. So, I mean, FTR is pretty cool too. There's a lot of great tag teams in AEW. So again, I'm just trying to 100% protect a tag team that I know will never leave, get injured, or split up. So I'm going to choose Phoenix and Pentagon, the Lucha Brothers, because I don't know if you guys have watched the last 2 matches that they've wrestled, and I know it wasn't as a tag team, but still, these guys are incredible.
Oh, without question.
Yeah, no question there.
No, they're 2 of the best in the business. So. I think those are all solid picks. I got to admit, for my 3, right off the bat, I'm going Lucha Brothers as well. Like, I want to see them there. I think if they left AEW and they were, let's say WWE was their main suitor, probably would be. I don't think they can use them correctly. I think they would.
Oh, no.
They don't know how to operate with those guys. Their best work is going to be in AEW. Well, they've already done so much of their best work. Next up for me, Santana and Ortiz. I think they're one of the greatest tag teams in the business right now, and I want to see them getting more shots. My number 3
I
tag team.
want to see them wrestle more.
It drives me nuts how little they wrestle. Like they just kind of follow Chris around and do sketches, but they even the last time one of them wrestled, it was, and I love Sammy Guevara. I'm never gonna be upset about seeing Sammy wrestle, but it was Sammy and Ortiz, and I'm like, Whereas Santana and Ortiz, come on, it's really not hard. And I every week goes by that they don't have a match drives me a little bit more nuts because I feel like AEW is sleeping on the potential that is sitting right in front of them. Like they're outstanding. And then my third tag team, I'm going Ivelisse and Diamante. Like
Ooh, okay.
I adore
Even though there
them.
isn't officially a women's tag team division, but
There
sure.
isn't. But it doesn't matter to me. Keep them. They're amazing because here's the reality. The most likely destination for them would be WWE. And do you want to see them in that women's tag team division? Just watch Vince split them up for no reason and pair one of them with Lacey Evans for no apparent reason because he got bored within 30 seconds? Exactly. So I want to see them there. I want to see the women's tag team division happen in AEW, and I want to see them be the foundation of it. I want that desperately.
Okay, which of my teams would you have knocked out if we had played my way?
Let's see. Who were your teams? You had Private Party, you had Top Flight, and you had Lucha Bros. Well, obviously, I'm not going to pick Lucha Bros because I picked them. I love Private Party. I probably would have knocked out Top Flight. I agree with everything I agree with literally everything you said about them before. But if I got to pick between those three, I got to pick one to let go. It's going to be Top Flight because I think what Mariko said before is true. Like if I got to choose between, if I got to choose, I'm going to choose between them because they are very reminiscent of each other. And if I've got one team that's kind of similar, then I can afford to let the other one go. And it wouldn't be bad to see. I love Top Flight.
The other thing is that, it's hard to judge Top Flight as being yes, they have all the potential in the world, but they are still very new. They're extremely young. I mean, Private Party's young too, but I don't know, it seems early to be, trying to base a company around them, which is what you're sort of suggesting. Especially when you have such a stacked division of so many teams with so many different styles and so many different things they bring to the arena.
I mean, it's a tough question, Mariko, because all of these teams are great, and technically, yeah, we wouldn't want to lose any teams. Again, I look at it like sports. Imagine if there was a bunch of wrestling promotions that actually traded wrestlers, like the way they do in hockey and the NBA.
That would actually be amazing.
It would be incredible, right? Yeah.
Oh my God, so cool.
I just saw Top Flight wrestle the greatest tag team in the world, and it was one of the best matches we've seen in quite some time. And if it is only the third match in AEW and it is that good, imagine how good they will be in 2 years. Whereas the Young Bucks, one of the Young Bucks can barely walk. That's what worries me.
Yeah, I fairly admit I've been kind of wondering about that too. I watched them win those belts, and I keep wondering how long is their reign going to last? I don't know how long Matt can keep going before he has to take a timeout to deal with those injuries. I don't know if it's always hard to say when you're reading online what is or isn't true, how bad they are. I hope he's not so severely injured, but if he's got to take time off, how long are they going to be hanging around right now? They might be, on the shelf for a year. Who knows?
But I agree. The 2 of the 3 teams I chose, actually all 3 teams are very similar. They're fast, they're high flyers. I could have maybe chosen Chucky T and Trent. I kind of feel like Chuck Taylor and Trent work well with Orange Cassidy. I like the 3 of them. And, now I really, really do think that the rumors are true and they will introduce a belt for tag team trios. Especially after what happened on Dynamite. Because now...
Yes, yeah.
We have Phoenix and Penta and...
Jeff Triangle.
And Pac.
Triangle de la Muerte.
Exactly. Versus Eddie and his pals.
I'm genuinely excited that they went back to that because I like the idea of those 3 of them before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that fact that they're going back to it and they're not splitting up Pentagon and Ray and they're sending...
that was a really good fake out. I really enjoyed that. The swerves last night were phenomenal.
They were, and that was beautiful. Loved it. Loved everything about it.
Very well done.
Before we go to the main event, we have to get rid of one tag team. Who do you choose?
Chaos Project.
Who? You whispered
exactly. That's my point exactly.
Wait, you whispered it. I didn't even hear you.
Chaos Project.
Oh, really? Not the Super Smash Brothers? Evil Uno and Grayson?
What? I love them.
Yeah, I love them too. Who would
No,
yours?
their last few matches have been really good. I cannot say they say the same for
I mean,
dear friend
I would
Luther.
prefer the Beaver Boys because I love John Silver. God, I guess I would agree with Mariko because I mean I'm not entirely sure. Like I kind of because in terms of like because there's a lot of teams on Dark, but they're not technically signed by AEW yet.
These guys have a name. They are a team.
Oh yeah, they're a team. They're a team.
Who would you eliminate?
Me? Oh, without question, FTR. Wouldn't even hesitate. I would rip up their contracts and drop kick them out the door so fast it would make their heads spin. I don't. The only reason they're there was to have this match with the Young Bucks. They had it. They won the belts. They can go now. I found them moderately interesting in WWE, mostly in NXT. Their rivalry with the DIY was incredible. That was their best work. Since then, I mean, I don't really. I'm not a big fan. I honestly, I look at them. They're a good tag team, but are they up to the Young Bucks level? No, they never have been. I was never been as hyped for this match as a lot of other people were. There are way more interesting pairings for the Young Bucks in AEW. Top Flight proves that. That Top Flight match was infinitely better than the Young Bucks FTR match. Like not even close. Like that was a much better match. Loved it. I would, if FTR is not done already, it's time for them to move on and do other things. The AEW tag division, they walked in the door, got their shot,
the contrast that they bring.
I don't even care. They walked in, the focus of the tag team division went immediately on them. Everything else and everyone else fell by the wayside. That storyline's done. I thank God for it. And now we can get back. Like, this is the best tag team division in the world, not FTR's tag team division. I'm happy to see them gone if they're done. If they pop up in New Japan and start wrestling there, great. I'll watch those matches. I'm sure they'll have some great ones. Or if they want to like tour the world, they go back to WWE. Who knows what they'll do? But the AEW tag team division has several better teams and have for them. I like it better after them.
Okay, wait a minute. I think I have my pick, but I'm not sure if you consider them a tag team. But the Gun Club.
Yeah, they're a tag team.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye.
They're a trio now.
Yes, they are a trio now. In fact, that's true.
Just quickly, I understand why you'd want rid of them. I personally don't have a problem with them. Do you know what bothers me about them? On Dark this week, they won as a trio, meaning Colton Gunn in his first match got a victory on Dark, where Sean Dean has 8,000 losses. Lee Johnson has 8,000 losses. How does Colton Gunn have a victory when those two beasts have nothing?
Well, we know the reason.
We know the reason. It just hurts my brain to look at it and go, "Oh my God!" Like, I mean, I can live with other guys coming in, especially when they're experienced, like Seidel. Like he's obviously experienced.
He's
the guy.
Fantastic.
I get that. Colton Gunn has a victory, and Sean Dean and Lee Johnson don't. That's something that AEW needs to take a step back and go, "Whoops, that's not cool," because it's not.
Yeah.
Cheering from the audience for 6 months doesn't earn you a victory. Like it's pure insanity. That's my rant. I'm sorry. That went completely off the rails there. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't really know where we're going with that, other than I guess they're gonna be like a babyface trio. Whatever.
They're, for some reason, part of the Nightmare family.
Yeah.
Yet again, bring me to the continuing with Ricky's you picking them to leave. They're at ringside when Team Taz is jumping Cody and Darby. They're literally part of his Nightmare family. Why didn't they help? They're 2 feet away. I don't understand.
Yeah, the rules for crowd interaction are really not clear, especially where the Nightmare family is concerned.
Absolutely.
Also, like, Cody's entrance last night after the bit with his wife getting her arm broken, it's just like, I'm Cody Rhodes. Like,
I like the way Taz was making fun of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of
that's
feel
always a
like
good time.
Taz is saying a lot of what fans are saying on Twitter, on social media.
Yeah,
Oh
I think
yeah.
mostly right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's kind of being the voice of the people, weirdly enough.
But you know what, Ian? I do agree with Mariko. I like the contrast that FTR brings, but I do think it's incredibly overhyped them coming into AEW, which is what I think I said on the very first podcast we recorded. Is I wasn't too hot on the match, and I didn't like the idea of bringing in a tag team from WWE right away, making them like the number one contenders, and they didn't really do much to deserve it when you have tag teams like Private Party who've been putting on incredible, excellent matches for over a year and who've actually beaten the Young Bucks, right? And they still have not had the championship belt. You know what I mean? So, like, I know not everybody can win, but I'm really glad FTR lost. That doesn't mean I want them to leave AEW. I'm pretty sure they have a lot of potential depending on how they handle the situation and the story moving forward. Like, who is going to be the next feud for FTR? Because you could do a lot with FTR. But I do like the concept.
I absolutely understand what you're saying, but from my point of view, FTR needs AEW far more than AEW needs FTR. Like they have a stacked tag team division that's already the main event. FTR just sort of rode that wave. I don't see anything they like. I mean, they have a somewhat contrasting style. I get that, but it doesn't mean it's interesting. It doesn't mean it makes for great matches all over the place. Again, that Top Flight and Young Bucks have a very similar style. That was a far more interesting and far better booked match, just across
Then
the
the
board. Like
PPV match?
absolutely, I enjoyed that match way more.
No.
Oh, they had all those cute
No.
things where they did. Oh, yeah, they did a bunch of cute spots where they did other people's finishers. That's adorable. It was funny. It was nice fan service, but that doesn't mean it was engaging storytelling.
No,
I did.
no, the fact that the Young Bucks were fighting for their title for their company, that was the story. And I thought that was well done selling Matt's injury. Like,
Hey, I'm not. That's not. I'm not hacking on the Young Bucks performance. I'm just saying got far more enjoyment out of watching Top Flight and Young Bucks go at it. Like I'm more interested to see Private Party and Young Bucks go at it again. I'm more interested to see Santana and Ortiz because the longer that the focus is on FTR, the less opportunity there is for guys like Santana and Ortiz. That's just the reality of it. And I think the last few months of focusing on FTR, having them be champions, and having there's been no drama in it because we all knew it was going to build up to a match with the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks were likely going to win. Maybe not, but likely going to win. And so the chances of FTR losing those belts before that match were zero. So any championship match they had no drama in it because there was just no likelihood of them losing that bout, at least in a fashion that would cost them the belts.
I can't even remember how they won the belt.
yeah,
Yes.
against Hangman and Omega.
Well, yeah, obviously, but how? When? I do not remember the match.
Yeah, it was a while ago now, I think.
I don't remember the match at all.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a particular. I mean, it was a perfectly fine match. Just I don't think it was a memorable match though either. Like that's to me that's the thing with FTR. I've never felt like they're perceived as great because they keep ending up in the ring with tag teams who are better than them. Like DIY was a better tag team than they were, and they looked great because they fed well off each other. The Young Bucks make them look good. Everyone they get in the ring with makes them look better than they actually are. And I've never I like them. I really enjoy their promos. I think they give fantastic promos. I enjoy their style to an extent. But the reality for me is I know that Vince didn't get them, but they're a WWE tag team to me. Like that's their style fits better there than what I expect from AEW. And I mean, I see the point you guys are making, but I'm never going to want to like if they never come back to AEW, I think AEW will be better for it. If this is the end of their run, I think AEW is better off.
I mean, we will agree to disagree. I think we need some more time with FTR before I'm willing to sort of like decide that they should like go elsewhere. It's quite possible. I'm just saying that I really, 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 really liked the match between the Young Bucks and FTR at the last pay-per-view. I just do not remember the match between them and Kenny Omega winning and Hangman winning the championship, which is really weird. I really do not remember that match at all.
All right, so coming up next on Talk AEW, we have the main event where we'll be talking about the best week for the women's division in AEW so far. So stick around.